Are you gonna tell me where you went? All the messages I sent with no reply.
Hello, Thousand Life fam. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Janaea and this is Live a Thousand Lives. Today, I'm going to be bringing you my January, February, and March wrap up. So, let's start with January. In the month of January, I had a really kind of bad month. I didn't read very much, and I only completed one book. That's right, one. And that book was Fever Song by Karen Marie Moning. Now, this series is one of my absolute favorite series of all time. It's based on Irish mythology. I talk about this series a lot on my channel. I can't really go into this. This is like number 8, I think. So I can't really like go into what this is about, but I highly recommend you check out her series. But this was the first book that I read in this year, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I ran it through Copile. In the month of February, I upped my reading a bit. I read 4 things in the month of February. So the first thing that I read in February was Hugs for Friends by Leanne Weiss. I'll put a picture here because I can't find my copy. I don't know what I have done with it. Hugs for Friends is like a short story collection all about different types of friendships and the things that people go through. And so it was really cute, but it was like published back in the 90s, and so there were things that were kind of for me, and it was a little boring. I only gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and mainly that was for nostalgia because I had received it as a gift from a friend, and so when I was reading it, it was very like pleasant to read because I like was remembering like our friendship and stuff. So that's why I gave it a 4 stars, but I probably, like, reading it just because, I probably would have given it a 3 stars. The next book that I read in the month of February, or listened to, was Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. I am loving reading this series, or listening to this series on audio. I have read the first 5 multiple times. This is like my 3rd reread, I think, and I decided to listen to them all on audio. I'm trying to get caught up. I have all of the books, but I haven't read them all yet. Trying to get caught up with that. This was the second book that I read in February, and I put it through Copile, and surprisingly, not really surprisingly, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Yes, I know, middle grade, but Rick Riordan can write characters that you feel you touch base with, or you feel like you belong with, and you feel like you're in the world with them and in the story with them. At least I do, and I just love it so much. My son is reading the first one. He's been reading it for a while because he hates to read, but I'm trying to slowly get him into reading more. The next book that I completed for the month of February was, surprise surprise, Fever Song by Karen Marie Moning. Yes, I have been reading the entire series. I've read the first 5 books in the series multiple times. I did a reread of all of those and am continuing on. So this is the 9th or 10th. I can't remember. I think this is the 9th because High Voltage is the 10th and there's an 11th, and I don't know if she's doing any more after that. But this was so good. It left on such a cliffhanger, and I cannot wait to continue this series, you guys. Read the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning. Okay, just do it for me so I can talk to someone about it. I put it through Copile, 5 out of 5 stars. I just love it so much. The next and the last book that I read in the month of February was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I absolutely adored this book, you guys. It was so cute. It was a ride, okay? It was a ride. I didn't really enjoy either of the main characters that much, but there were times when I loved them and there were times when I hated them. And it was funny because like I would love Charlotte and I would hate Jamie, or I would love Jamie and I'd hate Charlotte. I never really liked them both at the same time. I don't know why. But it was super, super good. I love that it's based off of like Sherlock Holmes and Watson's like grandchildren. I think that's such a unique twist on Sherlock Holmes, and it was really good. If you guys haven't read it, I highly, highly recommend that you do. You'll be in for a treat. So I put this through Co-Pile, and it came out a 4 out of 5 stars because of the character thing. Like, I didn't always love them and I wasn't always rooting for them. So, but I think they're supposed to be like that. Like, I don't think it's like just me. Like, I'm sure there are other people who don't really like them all the time. And I think that's how they're supposed to be. I did buy the next 2 books in the series, which you'll see in a haul of mine soon. So, yay for me. I get to continue. So in March, I read a total of 3.5 books. I DNF'd a book. Let's just be honest, okay? So let's get started with that. I'm gonna put a picture of this next one up here somewhere. I listened to an audiobook called Alone with the Stars. It was a free book on Audible. And it sounded super interesting. It was about Amelia Earhart and this girl who receives a transmission from her when her plane is going down. I was like, oh my gosh, like someone is like taking a twist on Amelia Earhart and like this girl's gonna save her or like figure out what happened to her or something, you know. And it was highly disappointing. The book's called Alone with the Stars. The audiobook was only like 3 hours long, so that should have told me something, like it wasn't going to close off well or something. Although some short books are really good and close off just fine and, you know, you're satisfied. I was highly disappointed with this book because we go from her receiving this transmission to her trying to tell people about it, and this is in a time when women's opinions don't matter. She goes with her dad who believes her and thinks that they need to tell someone, and they go to a military, like a Coast Guard or something's base where he knows like a high-ranking person, and they go to tell this person, but this person wanted his wife. And so, because she chose him, he's not willing to help them. It was a weird twist. And then, because his child is a girl and not a boy, he refuses to believe that she could be so smart as to get a transmission from Amelia. And so, he doesn't do anything about it. And so then, we like skip ahead to when she's like 70 years old. And it's all about, basically the whole last like chapter is her like whining, inner dialogue, whining about how she should have done more, and if she did, would Amelia still be here, and like all this stuff. And then it just like ends, and I'm like, huh? Like, what was the point of that? I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but I didn't enjoy it, so I think it'd be more like a 2 out of 5. I didn't hate it. I think I'm gonna give it a 2 because I didn't enjoy it. Like, I wanted it to go somewhere. It was promising, but it just ran flat. It was not good. That was my first read of March. My second read of March was such a good read. It was Slammed by Ribbon, Fish, and Pier, Volume 1. This is about girls who are into roller derby. And it's about these 2 girls who form a really good friendship. And throughout, you kind of think that maybe something romantic was going to happen with them. And then they get drafted into other derby groups, I guess. And so one goes to a different team and one goes to another team, and they live together, and it's about them and how their friendship is becoming different because they aren't on the same team, and how that is affecting them and stuff like that. It was really, really good. I cannot wait to continue this series just because it was cute, it was funny, it's girl power. If you want some girl power, here you go. It shows kick-ass women doing dangerous, I mean, it's a dangerous sport, roller derby. I enjoyed it. The only thing I will say is that when they get into an argument and then it turns into a physical altercation, and I'm not saying that that doesn't happen with women. To me, it felt more like a, well, this is what a man would do type of situation, I guess. I don't know. That part felt a little off to me. Just to me. Maybe I was reading into it too much, but who knows? I have never been in a real physical altercation with anyone, so I don't like fight with people, and so for me, I'm like, I would have handled that differently. I would have said my piece and I would have walked away. I just wasn't like that growing up. I didn't fight. I used my words. It was really good. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. So I highly recommend. Check it out and see what you think about it. The next book that I read, and let me tell you, I loved this book every moment of it. I read it, but I also listened to some of it on audio, and I freaking loved it. That was The Disasters by M.K. England. I don't hear anyone talking about this book, like no one. And I don't understand why, because this book is so pure. I know that sounds weird to say, but like, okay, let me explain. So we have these 4 students who go to the Moon Academy, basically. There's an academy where you can go to learn things like being a pilot or being a farmer or whatever. And then you can go to other colonies throughout the universe. You don't have to go back to Earth. These 4 kids get kicked out of the academy. You know that from the back. It says the academy never should have kicked them out, and they're about to regret it. So they get kicked out of this academy, and they're waiting on a ship to go back to Earth, because if you don't complete the academy, you have to go back to Earth. You don't have a choice. So they get kicked out, and then all of a sudden the lights in the whole place, including their ship, like go off, and these strange people come in and kill their pilots, like, and try to kill them. And so there's one kid in the 4 that is a pilot, and his name's Nax, or that's what they call him. I was gonna say, I don't know what his like gender preference and sexual like orientation is. I would consider Nax to be like pansexual, I guess. Just because he doesn't let people's gender like affect how he feels about them. Like, there's him and another guy, and then there's 2 girls. However, one of the girls, I believe, I'm not 100% on this, but I believe she is trans. So, she's a trans woman. So, but he finds something attractive, or he finds like almost like a spark with each of them for different reasons, obviously. And no, it's not like a love circle or anything like that. It's not like that. But he can appreciate all of them, and he finds them all attractive, and he flirts with all of them and stuff. And same, like vice versa. It's pure because like whatever your orientation is, whatever you perceive yourself as, is completely fine, and no one cares. But they don't come out and are like in your face, but no one's in their face about them being that way either. So it's like balance. It's nice. It was just normal. People, it didn't bother anyone. It wasn't something to be a big deal, and I just thought that was really nice. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't even part of the storyline. It was just there, and it was nice. I really enjoyed that. Aside from that, they have to escape, and he flies them to one of the colonies, which means they can never go back to Earth. Once you hit a colony, you cannot go back to Earth because there could be diseases on these other colonies that would kill livestock or would kill plants. Their goal is to figure out who did this, why. It was really good. It was an exciting read. I loved this. I hope I explained myself well. I just want everyone to be happy. Is that okay? It was really good, heartwarming. I loved it, and I think more people should read this. So, if you haven't yet and you like space, sci-fis, read this. It is really good. Oh, I put it through Copile. I thought for sure it was going to come out a 5 stars, but it came out a high 4 stars. So, I would say it'd be like a 4.5 star, I guess. The only reason it didn't get a 5 star is because there were times when it dragged a little bit, and I was like, come on guys, like, go do what you need to do. So that's the only reason, but other than that, I loved it. And the last book that I read in March or kind of read in March was The Binding by Bridget Collins. I still have my marker in here. I'm on page 194, chapter 14. I plan to continue this, but I was trying to read it for a readathon, and I was trying to like read it fast, and I was not enjoying it. I really wanted to like this, but I feel like there's so much going on that I have no idea what's going on, if that makes sense. I don't like what's going on. So, and maybe it's just that it hasn't picked up for me. So I put it on hold. The library's closed. I can't return it. So I get to keep it. So I'm going to slowly read this when I'm done with other books, like on my TBR and stuff. But this just is not hitting me in the right moods, I guess. So it is on hold for now, which is a bummer because I really, really wanted to love this. I have not put it through Copile because I have not finished it. And I don't rate books I DNF or I put on hold. So that's that. Those are all of the books that I read from January to March, which is kind of pathetic because it's like 9 books. But anyway, your girl just doesn't read like crazy a lot like other booktubers do. I don't understand how they do it. Like, I have a job and I have kids and I have housework and I don't understand how they do this. I don't understand. And then filming and editing and stuff. I don't understand how they have so much time to read like 20 books in a month or 10, even 10. Like, how do you do it? Please share your wisdom with me. And I've been doing the audiobook thing, I swear. And still, I don't know what's happening. Please let me know if you've read any of those books that I talked about today. Let me know if you liked them or disliked them or what your thoughts are. Also, let me know if you think I should keep going with The Binding because your girl doesn't really want to. Also, please remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you want more content from me. Also, click that little bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Remember that all my social media links are in the description box below. And remember guys, a reader lives 1,000 lives and so can you. So keep on reading. Bye guys.
I guess you're back. Are you gonna tell me where you went? All the messages I sent with no reply. It's like that. You're just gonna walk into my room